In creating my little lines for perspective, sometimes I need a strong concentration of lines. Like, for instance, way over here, we got this little Mr. Softy truck right there. And I'm going to go in and look at the actual file. Now, here's the actual file of the Mr. Softy truck. And as we're getting close, you see that there's a lot of little lines going on here. All these lines have to follow that perspective. You can see that this one's slightly up, and up here, they're pointing down. So it's very important to have all those lines follow the same perspective as the rest of the scene. When we look at those perspective lines in Illustrator, here they are right in there. And you can see that they are, in fact, pretty tight little group of lines. That's where the blend tool comes in Illustrator. The blend tool does an interpolation between two different paths. Let's look and see what exactly does that mean. I'm going to create here a couple of shapes. So I'm going to make this one pretty complex. It's just going to be just like this little amoeba-looking thing, whatever. Okay, some weird part of a nightmare somewhere. All right, so there's this shape. And we're going to fill it with a bright red color. And the stroke will make it a green, which will be a really thick stroke. Let's see what 20 points is going to look like. There we go. That's pretty thick. All right, so that's our one shape. Then down here, I'm going to create another shape. Just kind of a little teardrop shape. That's all it's going to be. But this stroke is only going to be about 2 points, a really thin stroke. And this stroke is going to be an orange color. And the inside this time will be a blue. So there are two totally different shapes. This one is made up of many points. This one is made of 2. This one has a thick green outline and a red interior. This has a orange outline and a blue interior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all. And I'm going to come over here and say Objects, Blend, Make. Now, the default is it makes this transition like this, which is really nice colors. But after the fact, I'm going to go in here and say Blend, Blend Options. Now here, I can control what I want to do here. And what I want is not smooth color. I want specified steps. I want this to happen over 3 steps. Do it. And there you can see that it's created 3 steps in between where the objects are changing in shape, changing in color, changing in the stroke. So it's creating a transition from one object to another, kind of like a morph. This is great for, say, animation steps or whatever. But this comes in really handy in the use of those perspective lines, especially in the case of Mr. Softy, where I go in there and let's just exaggerate this and I say, this is my top line of perspective, right? And I'll have no stroke in between. And then down here, I'm going to create the second line of my perspective right there. So I need a bunch of lines in between for all those little vents and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all and I'll say Blend, Make. And I'm going to go into my blend options and say I want a lot more steps. Let's say I want 28 steps altogether. I can preview this to see what it's going to look like. So if I say that's maybe not enough or too many, let's bring it down to 25 steps, 25, and I'm previewing it. I can see what it looks like. Click OK, and there it creates all the steps in between. Now, if you're in Illustrator and you want to individually go in there and move some of these, you need to expand it first. You expand it, click OK, and now you can see that they are, in fact, individual lines. So if I want to take this one and move it over like that or just eliminate it, I can.